So you guys may remember, if you watch my videos at all, when I was driving the 18-wheeler back a few months ago, I bought a oil drain pan, Vevor oil drain pan with a 12-volt pump and all that stuff on it. And I really liked it, and I made a review video on it, and it did pretty good. And the company Vevor, they contacted me, asked me would I be interested in doing a product review on another product. Sure. So they sent me this. Now, they did send it to me for free just to do the review on, and I've been using it for about a week now. And so far, I really like it. They gave me a list of stuff to pick from, and as soon as I saw this, I thought about this place, because we come over here in the fall and different times of year. I normally come when it's cooler, and there's not a lot of options for power. Now, he does bring a generator, a gas generator, but that kind of kills the being out in nature vibe, you know. And I had never even really heard of a battery generator. Now, one thing that's cool about this generator, but it probably wouldn't work so well here because it's so shaded, is it has pass-through charging. So you can connect a solar panel to it, and it will charge while it's running your device. Now, it's only 300 watts. I think it's 296 watt hours, I think is what I saw somewhere in the paperwork. But I don't know a lot of technical terms about this stuff. What I want to know is, does it work? You know, that's all I need to know. And I know at 300 watts, now that's not 300 per 110 outlet, that is 300 for the pair. So that's 150 each, or 300 total. So my outlook on that is that would be perfect for over here for charging phones, because we've done it before where we run stuff off the vehicles, and somebody always winds up with dead batteries. So with this, you have a row of USB and USB-Cs over here, and the USB-C on top is bidirectional, where you can charge from it or you can power from it. And I thought that was pretty neat. And they say that if you want to do fast charging, you take the charger that comes with it, and it does come with two chargers. It comes with a car charger and it comes with a home charger. So you can take either one of those and plug in to the car or to your home and plug it in right here, and that'll get you started charging. But you can also take a USB-C charger, like you charge your phone with, plug in this top one, and charge it even faster. That's, you know, nobody wants to wait anymore. The faster you can charge, the better. It does also have a accessory port right here, cigarette lighter port, whatever you want to call it. And I've used this thing on a few different things, but I brought my laptop and I was going to show on it how it would function with the laptop, because when we come over here, there's always kids. The kids always want to bring their electronics, right? So to be able to charge a laptop or an iPad or a tablet of some sort is always a good deal. So what you would do, slide this on over a little closer to me. The battery on this thing is dead. I haven't used it in a while. So what I'm going to do is plug this in, and it has a little hole down here, so if you have a 3-prong plug, it can slide right through there. Now that I have it plugged in, first thing you'll do is this button right here will power it on. Makes a little beep, has a really good display. I'll try to get a close-up shot of that a little bit later on so you guys can see. And it says 99%, 100% battery, 99 hours, because there's nothing plugged to it, and how many watts it's pulling. So now we'll turn on the AC. You push this button to turn the AC. All these buttons right here turn this stuff off and on individually, so you can run the cigarette lighter charger port and the AC port, or you can turn this off, or just however you can turn the USBs on and off, however you want to do it. Now, there are some adapters that you can get to go in here where you can just run straight DC, to the best of my understanding, but it did not come with the chargers. And it says that is 12.8 and 16.5 volt, 10 amp total. But I don't have the adapter for that. So anyway, let's see if the laptop is charging. And it is, because it just powered on. Now it's at a 0% charge, and we'll see again here in a little bit what it actually comes up to. Another thing that I thought was a really good touch about this is anybody who watches my channel knows that I've done RV transport. I like traveling around the country, and one thing that I found that goes with me, especially in the wintertime, anywhere I go, especially if I'm gonna have a passenger, because if it's a woman, she usually winds up cold. This is a battery plug-in a cigarette lighter electric blanket. Picked it up at Walmart years and years ago. You can tell the cover's kind of dingy looking because it's been tossed around from truck to truck. And that's just something that I keep around. For one, if I break down somewhere out on the road, I don't want to have to. I want to be able to keep myself from freezing to death as best I can. So the big thick sleeping bag that I have with this on the inside, it'll keep you warm for a while. Now, one thing about this is when you plug it into a car, you plug it into here, plug it in wherever, it's going to pop up. It's only going to run until it gets to so hot, then it'll cut off and it'll start cycling off and on. Now, like with the laptop's charging here, it says it can charge that laptop for 5 hours and it's drawing 57 watts. That's what it's saying. So it usually takes about two hours, I think, to charge that laptop. So that's 2 charges. And I'm starting with a totally dead battery. So if I want to come over while I'm charging a laptop, mainly because if I unplug it, it'll go completely dead, and I want to plug in the electric blanket right here, run this around this way, make sure that it's turned on. It has a high, medium, and low. We're going to turn it on high, or off, low, and high. Then I'm going to push this button right here to turn it on. Okay, now there should be a red power light. There it is right there that you can see. Now it says it'll run this and this for 2 hours, and it's drawing 131 watts. 131 watts, it would run it for 2 hours. Now keep in mind, this thing is going to cycle. It's going to get hot, cut off, cut back on, cut off. So that would extend that time out a little bit. This thing is completely dead, and like I said, I'm no electronics guru, but I know that there's plenty enough time that someone could sit here with the electric blanket on them, if you were chilled, wanted to do that, and charge this laptop for 2 hours. That's not bad for the cost of this thing and the size of it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this loose. I'm hoping that maybe I can zoom in and get a shot of that, but I can already feel this thing starting to heat up, and that's pretty cool. Now if I unplug the laptop, hoping the battery will hold out for just a second, it's jumping up. It says 4 hours, and it's saying this is drawing 128 watts. But it is getting good and warm. I can feel it coming through the cover there. Now it's down to 76 watts. So just a sleeping bag by itself, I would say it would run it every bit of 4 hours. That could be, that could really help you out if you were in either in a bad situation, or you're like out at a place like this and you got your girlfriend with you, or if you're a lady and you get out by a bonfire in the fall and it's cool out and you got this right here together. There you go. I've used it on this. I've used it on my refrigerator, because that's the next thing. When we do come over here, there's always somebody shuttling back and forth to the house to get things from the fridge. Because, we'll bring coolers and stuff over, but ice melts, things get wet. It would be nice to have one of the Domestics. I have 2 of them, but there's no way over here to run it unless you leave it in your pickup. And it's a possibility you run your battery dead. So now we're inside the cabin. First thing I want to show is, if I don't drop this thing, it's the LED light, because it is a little bit darker in here. That thing is crazy bright. So I can see in a place like this here, you have a light going, and you see it says 2 watts. That's what it's actually drawing. Now I plugged the box fan in, And I know nothing about that box fan. It wasn't here the last time I was here. You push the little button right here and it'll turn that outlet on. Yeah, fan works. We'll let it run for just a second. Actually, yeah, we'll let it run for just a second. Now it's saying with the light on and the fan going, it would run it for 5 hours. And it would run the fan for 5 hours, and it's pulling 55 watts. Let's see what speed that fan is on, because I don't know if that's all of it or no, it was on low. So now it's on high, and this is with the light still on. I cut it off. I can figure out how. I was just pushing hold. There it is. So on high, it'll run that fan for 4 hours, and it's drawing 76 watts on high. I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. And also, like I said, if it was dark and you want to, this thing would light the inside of this little cabin up. Or if you were walking to or from a campsite, something like that, this would be cool to have, because that's just really ridiculously bright light. Alright. Push and hold to turn it off. And 4 hours, 76 watts. And just the tinkering that I've been doing, it's at 98%. It was at 100% when I pulled it out of the truck out here. So, before I get the battery ran down too far, I want to show one more thing. So we'll unplug the fan, turn this off, and you'll see it'll go back 99 hours left, because there's nothing plugged in, and how many watts of current it's pulling. And then as you push the buttons to turn different things on, it will pop up down here and say USB and Type-C, AC. Well, I was pushing the wrong button. You'll see it says USB and Type-C, and then DC output. So anyway, back outside. So if you guys watch my videos, I don't go hardly anywhere without one of my Dometic refrigerators. I like having things cold around me to drink at all times. So when I was running back and forth across the country, I would carry them. And I use one as a freezer because it'd go down to -4 degrees. And it'll go plenty cold enough to deep freeze stuff. Or you set it, I think this one's set around 40 degrees, 45, something like that. Down enough to keep everything cold, but without freezing it. So if this thing runs this at all, I'm gonna be impressed. I mean, this thing is super small, very lightweight. It's about the size of a small car battery. I heard other people talk about it was the size of a car battery, but it's smaller than the one that goes in my truck and the tractor and the batteries that I'm used to dealing with. And like I said, it is super lightweight, you know. Very easily, I can easily see anybody throwing this in the back of a vehicle on a camping trip. So let's see what happens here. Well, first thing we'll do is turn it on, and the display comes up, and then we'll push this button. It'll turn the output on here, and what we're looking for is see if the lights come on the front of the Dometic. And they did. It's saying 47 degrees. I'll come around here where I can see with you guys. 47 degrees. It was showing 15 hours, but the compressor just kicked in. And now it's saying 8 hours, 40 watts, 39 watts, 41 watts, 7 hours at 44 watts. Let's give it a few minutes to level out. Here is the portable power station on Vevor's website. It is $269. If you do click into the description of this video, there is a code in the description that will get you 5% off the entire website. Not just on the portable power station. And they have a ton of things to offer. That portable power station is $269. I think that's a pretty good deal on it for what I've seen it do so far. Also, they have, let's click all departments.
They have a little bit of everything on here. I've seen everything from restaurant supplies to office supplies to, it says hydraulics, heating and cooling. Click on automotive, see what they got. Pneumatic car jacks, the air bottle jack, that's pretty cool. Hydraulic ramp, I've never really seen hydraulic ramps. Watercraft lifting sling, portable paint booth, just all kind of stuff. But if you want to check out their website, the discount code is listed below in the description. And so far I've only used the oil pan and the power station, and I've been really happy with both products.
I got sidetracked. It's been about 30 minutes, and I came back to check on this and see how much power it had drawn down. It was on 98% in there earlier, and it is on 96% now, 95%, but it's showing it's got 99 hours left to run it. Now you're thinking, well, how is that? Because the compressor is not running on the refrigerator. Just gonna kick it back on, we'll open the door. And now the compressor should kick back on pretty quick. See, it's showing it's drawing 0 watts. And that's what I'm saying, it'll bring it up to temperature, it'll cut off. When the refrigerator loses its cool, it should kick back on. When it kicks back on, it'll drop back down. So if it's saying it'll run it for 7 hours, it should go quite a bit longer than 7 hours, especially if you have a good, well-insulated refrigerator like that. I like that you can charge it here or with from the car, from the home, or from solar. And it is pass-through charging, so if there was a solar panel I could put out right here, the solar would charge the unit while the unit ran the refrigerator or whatever else, the fan, whatever else I was running on it. I can see this coming in handy for boating, camping, anywhere where you're out away from power, on the beach, just really anywhere. And like I say, it's super light, super compact. I like it, and I know I'm going to get a lot of good use out of it, and I want to thank Vevor for sending it to me. So the compressor finally kicked back on, and it's saying that it's got 7 hours and it's drawing 44 watts. That's pretty impressive. Like I say, with it kicking off and on, this thing would run this refrigerator plenty long enough for me to do whatever I wanted to do over here. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't run it for 10 hours. I haven't tried it. I need to. And there'll be a review video after I've used it some more. Talking to a friend the other night that actually has the diesel in-cab heater from Vevor, and he says he really likes it. And as soon as I get around him, I'm going to be doing a video of that thing, because when I was running out over the road myself, that would have been awesome. He said it either comes with a tank where you can put diesel directly into its tank in the bed of the truck, or you can tie it in straight to your diesel auxiliary tank, or tie it into your fuel tank, and that way it'll keep, it'll warm the inside of the truck without the truck running. Anyway, that's going to sum it up for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed a look at the cabin in the woods of my neighbors, and if you're thinking about getting one of these things and you don't need big power like 700-800 watts, you just need something to carry to the beach, carry camping, stuff like that, keep your phone charged up, and little things like that, this thing seems to be awesome. Don't forget to check the description for the discount code, and that's about all I got. I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.